you're doing that, let me give a little preview into this. So the Northman, this is coming out later. I think a little bit later this year. It's essentially Hamlet. It's based on the Norse myth that Shakespeare used when he penned Hamlet, and it's called Amleth is the legend, the mythology of it. But it's directed by Robert Edgers. If you're a film fan at all, in 2019, Edgers kind of hit it big with The Lighthouse. So he's kind of he's got a real different sense and tone to his film, and man, it looks like this is really going to sing. So let's fire it up now. You got it pulled up.
Yeah, I was just checking. I was checking what the release date is, and it looks like U.S. release date is actually April 22nd, so later this month.
Oh wow! So they must have moved it up or something. I thought it was later this year, but awesome.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and it looks like it's releasing first in Lithuania on the 8th of April, and then kind of throughout Europe, and then finally making its way over here in late April. So this is a movie that's coming out pretty soon. So something to be excited for. Right around the corner. All right, let's take a look. Oh my God, the cat. So to be clear, I have not really watched this trailer at all. I saw like the super cut of it. I saw the quick list of who's in the movie, and just it was a Nicole Kidman we've seen, now Willem Dafoe. I didn't recognize the younger woman, but she kind of looked familiar. So already a killer cast. So okay, so I want to make a quick observation, because a lot of like these shows are coming out. Like one that immediately comes to mind was Wheel of Time. I love the Wheel of Time series, and when it came out on Amazon, I just thought it looked so fake. I don't want to get into the Wheel of Time, but the production value of it, I mean, it's clear, like this production value and that production value. This looks real. The Wheel of Time looks like someone's like fan fiction that they threw together. I don't know, like it looks too bright, where like this still has some, I mean, the colors are kind of muted, but like it still looks like real. It gives a real tone to this world. Whereas like I thought the Wheel of Time would look like this, and it did. I don't know if either of you guys invested any time in that show for Amazon.
I didn't watch it. Like I watched 2 trailers and I was kind of done. I mean,
yeah,
this was more grounded.
I took a swing at the first episode just because I'm never going to rule something out completely. So right. I did watch them, and yeah, it was. I'm not even going to go production value. For me, it was the writing. The writing was just so evidently bad. I've seen junior high school level productions from the drama club that had better enunciation and acting. And part of that, I'm sure, was the script. It didn't really seem to offer much of anything. And I read some of the Jordan books. I made it to like book 4 before I realized that essentially each book was kind of the same plot, just reframed.
Right.
And I jumped actually not too long ago. I jumped and watched a little bit of the second to last episode because somebody told me there was a terrible scene in it, and it was awful. Yeah. But yeah, the production value looks high. Historical accuracy wise, it gets a lot better as we move through the trailer. There's 2 specific moments that are excellent.
Okay. Let's keep it going because I'm excited so far. What I've seen so far looks really good and very like Shakespearean in nature too.
That's Bjork as the seer. Oh my God, really? Yes, it is. Now this guy here with the helmet and kind of the male coif that rises up underneath it. It's super cool to see that because it is historically accurate. But even cooler is the armor. You'll notice that he's not wearing chain. He's wearing like a studded mail, which is accurate for somebody that would be extraordinarily wealthy. So it's kind of cool. They've done all these cool little historical accurate. I mean, the pommel on the sword is correct for the era that they're talking about. Right. The costuming is just done so exceptionally well. Even that fur coat that or the bear pelt that he's wearing, everything just works and it looks so cool. Yeah. Like this costumes look authentic. Like, you just feel like you're actually like on your knees looking up at this guy taking your helmet off. It looks really cool. Yeah, but if you look at as you go through the rest of the trailer too, if you look at like their hands and their face, nobody's ever clean. Everybody's always dirty. You don't have that sense that they just walked out of their trailer. Right. And you know what? It calls back to like those old
or not the old, but like Braveheart, like that had that same thing where it was so real, like stuff like that. Like everyone had like, you know, they're eating, they got grease all over them and their hands are all scarred up from the previous battle and dirty and like dirt under their nails. Like this is the kind of like tone that it's setting, and it's beautiful so far. Were you say something, Zombie?
I was just going to point out like 2 other examples of that with like Jaws and The Thing. Like they weren't beautiful people that came out of their trailer. They look like actual people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's actually a really good point. They weren't afraid to use like ugly people back in the day, like to make it normal. And now it's like every pretty face. And I believe Aldous, was it you that said it about the Morbius trailer? How like Jared Leto is just like, he's just too handsome for this role. Maybe it was Snick. I don't remember.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah. The Leto thing. I mean, Leto's just, he's always the same face. Right. They never do anything to him. Take for example, something we're going to talk about later. Ethan Hawke is in this and in the Moon Knight episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at if you look at Ethan Hawke in this, he's got a different presence to his face. His features are a little bit different. He's got a beard on. His hair's a little bit longer. And then if you go to the next one, he's like gained weight. He's not as gaunt as you usually see Ethan Hawke. He's a little more filled out, and his hair's different. He's changing himself into the role. And Leto is just always the same. It's the cookie cutter approach. It's just the same actor in a different role. So, and Alexander Skarsgård is in this, and he's another excellent actor that kind of blends into the role that he's being cast in.
Absolutely.
So, all these, Nicole Kidman aside, everybody in this seems to really fit it. Nicole Kidman for me is just Nicole Kidman and everything she does. I mean, if there was a wet paper bag, I'm not sure she could act her way out of it, but you know.
Exactly.
That refrain for me brought back memories to Michael Crichton's The 13th Warrior.
You know, I haven't seen that or read it, so
yeah, there's a refrain in that where it's like, you know, and lo do I see my fathers and my father's fathers and all that came before me. Like it's that kind of just that air that the Viking that, you know, it's like it's about honor and it's about avenging and it's about family, and it's just in those 3 simple words. Whereas in the 13th Warrior, this long poem that they recited that built up to it, just in those 3 simple lines, you get everything that it's about, and it really hammers it home.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's you know, that's something I feel like is like what's great about storytelling is like the story model itself is fairly simple, and like a story of revenge, you know, it works and done properly, it can be a great story. And this seems to be turning out to be one of those. It's like the formula is simple, the story is simple, but how it's formulated and how it's going to go about it is going to be, you know, like we cross our fingers, everything looks great so far. It'll be how do they execute it from here on out. But it's the one thing I love about these stories.
Hate for your enemies. Their strength.
I love that. Choose between kindness for your kin. Wait, how did I miss that? I need to
kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies.
Kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies. Awesome.
There's a great, if you guys have ever seen Munich, there's a great moment in that when the main character, Eric Bana's character, he's in France and he's talking to a French weapons dealer, and he's sitting down, and his family, the French weapons dealer's family, is having dinner. And he sits down and he talks about, you know, well, I'm French, but I don't worry myself with France because the country doesn't matter. It's my family that matters, and your family matters. And it's just about family. And that's cool. And the reason I bring that up is because what the tale of what Amleth is about, what Hamlet is about, what this is built on is that concept that breaks what that man's talking about. And in this, it's the strongest bond is your family. That's at the end of the day, your tribe starts and ends there, right?
Yes.
In this story, that bond is broken. And so the main character's greatest enemy is actually inside his family circle. And so that's where he's saying, you know, you got to balance it out. You can't do both. Kindness for your kin or hatred for your enemy. Only one can consume you.
Yep.
Which one are you going to have it be? And in this case, he didn't say, you know, hatred for the enemy. Or not hatred for anybody but your family. It's hatred for your enemy because his enemy is his kin.
Yes. Oh man. And this young lady here, I don't remember her name, but she was in the Queen's Gambit. And she did a really good job in that show. I'll have a difficult time because that's all I've seen her in. I'll have a difficult time separating that character from this.
She was in a few other movies too. She was in that New Mutants movie. She was Magic.
Oh, I haven't seen that. So
yeah, not a lot.
No one saw that.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty shit. She's in that Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets as well.
Also something no one saw. However, I do recommend everybody goes and checks out the graphic novel series that's based off of, because that's excellent.
I heard that was really good. I plan on it.
But yeah, this is looking good too. Oh, did he just catch that?
That is the only moment of this that I do not like.
Of course,
it's not necessary. It's
badass.
It is badass, but it's not necessary. You don't need to do stupid ass shit like that. You want to know what that is? That is the trailing edge of superhero films, like bleeding over. We have reached peak saturation, and so they're going to do things like that to make every hero in movies, no matter how serious, they're always going to have a little something that gives you that little like, oh, is he special? And it's not needed, especially in this story. This story, it's not needed.
Yeah, The Rock Raina just said, well, we got to watch it for just that scene now. And that's what they're going for, right? Kind of like what you're saying is like, we've seen this sort of thing played out where, Captain America catches the thing and throws it back at the guy, kills him. And they're trying to capture that. They're trying to capture that, I guess, that normie audience for that one moment. And then now they're going to go pay, $14 at the theater to see it. But it was still cool though. Like, it was a cool moment. Like, I don't know. It got me, but
still pretty badass.
Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke, Bjork.
Taylor-Joy is the pretty chick.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Well, like I think one of the things I really like about like him is like that repeating like "I will kill you, Fjolnir," like that like simple like mantra that he has, like it's fueling him. And like even as the trailer builds, you see him obviously grow into a man, but like just become more and more fierce. So even like starting from catching that spear to, now he's running around, he's holding axes, he's blood all over him, it's fire consuming. My skin's crawling, dude. I wonder what this scene is.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen a trailer that made me like this. This has epic on it for me. And I haven't seen something that has this air to it in a while. I mean, really, if I take Dune out of the equation, and I think 90% of my Dune excitement is because I'm a huge Dune Frank Herbert fan. So I kind of try to rule that out. But it's been a long time since I've seen a trailer that I kind of made me sit up and go, wait, what? And watch it again. And this has it. This has all the tones. And when you were going over the actors, Klaus Bang, who was listed in there, he's kind of like unknown. If you know him from anything, it's going to be the BBC Dracula series from like 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. But he's a huge character actor. If you watch a bunch of European movies, and Stick's in the chat, and he's going to tell me I'm a film snob. But if you watch he like comes up all the time. He's just a great background character actor. So you can't. This cast has everybody you could want in it to pull this off. Everything looks gritty and used and lived in. Right. You got those great. I mean, that scene of him walking through town with his shirt off, where he's just like he's hunched over like an animal, just for like waiting to kill. It's just every tone it's hitting on, and it makes me want to go see this movie. This is what a trailer should be. This is what a trailer used to be. And it's nice to see that they still make decent trailers for movies.
It also doesn't do like major spoilers about the story either.
Oh yeah, I was just
up in the air.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that.
I can tell you the story because I know what it's Hamlet. So I mean,
yeah,
they're gonna, and that's actually the only thing I have a concern with here, because this story is very narrative driven. So I'm really hoping that the writer on it, and it was written by the director, Robert Eggers, and an Icelandic novelist. And I'm hoping what they did is they kind of merged that narration into the action. So it's not like heavy handed. Because I don't like, as much as I love some of the Hamlets that are out there, I don't think this will work if you're going to do a trailer like this and then try to do a reimagining of Hamlet and somehow with just action scenes dropped throughout it. So,
and I was going to say what what Zombie said. Like, I think what's great about this is, even though, like, so, okay, even if we know the story of Hamlet, even watching this trailer, you're trying to figure out, okay, who is who, how is it going to be executed? You know, where are the story beats going to come in comparison to other iterations of Hamlet?
They didn't just go back and tell Hamlet again. They went back to the source material. They went back to the actual Saxon Norse tale, the Germanic source material, and threw together what looks to be a great, captivating story.
Right. And what a backdrop too, because I think that Viking stories are very trendy now. Like that whole lore is you know, people are into it. It's the big bearded men. They're all rough and tough alpha male. And I mean, the Viking series was pretty popular. I actually didn't watch any of it. It's something that I probably will go back to eventually. But so now putting a story like this into that backdrop just seems to make sense. And it's not something out of left field. Like, you could see it actually happening in this world. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. And as far as the trailer goes, like, absolutely cheers from me. That's a heck of a trailer. And like you said, wanting to get back and like watching more. Is there more? There's still 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, there's still some stuff left.
Oh wait, let me see.
One thing about that trailer that really got me was the William Dafoe scene. Like, I did not expect that. I just thought, like, he's in your face.
Yeah.
Well, that's Dafoe, man. That's when Dafoe's at his best.
I love Dafoe's like a little goblin.
If you have, like I said, this is Edgar's. He did The Lighthouse from a few years back. And if you're a film fan and you haven't seen that, check that out. I mean, if you had any doubts that Pattinson wouldn't be able to act at all in the Batman, go watch The Lighthouse before you see the Batman. It'll convince you. Or see Cronenberg's Megapolis. Like that, both of those Pattinson acts in, and he does a good job. But the reactions that Eggers got out of Dafoe, it was like Dafoe's career was rejuvenated. It was like he was back when he was just really super emotive with just his face instead of just his voice. Back like in the late 90s, early 2000s. Right. And it's fantastic to see. I'm really hoping that comes out even more in this. And from the trailer, it looks like it does. So, because if you can get Dafoe on his game, boom, that does something for your movie.